Ottish.com. Learn anywhere, anytime.
Hello everyone. Namaste to you all. I think you all are feeling energetic. You are excited to hear from me. Okay. First, welcome to you all in this video lesson. I am here to discuss the strategies of professional development. For last 5 or 6 videos, I have been talking on different strategies of teacher professional development. For example, I discussed keeping teaching journal is a strategy of developing professional skills, professional strength of the teacher, self-monitoring, workshop, seminar, conferences. Those different strategies for building up, for developing teachers' competencies, teacher potential skills for teaching, resourcing, and involving in many different activities. Okay, title is Strategies of Professional Development of English Language Teacher. Professional development. Okay. In the discussion of strategies, right now I take the time, I utilize the time to discuss peer observation as one of the strategies for professional development. It is called peer observation. I guess you have experienced peer observation during your teaching practicum or teaching practice. At the time of practice teaching, you might have observed the classes of your friends. You might have provided some suggestions or feedback to them. You might have explored the strength as well as weaknesses of their presentation. You might have written a report of peer observation and submitted to the concerned department. Am I right? In your plus 2 level study in education, bachelor's level study in education, master's level study in education, or 1 year bachelor's degree, of course, you might have developed an experience of peer observation. You observed your friends, your colleagues, classes, and you provided feedback or some constructive comments and suggestions. That is the peer observation. So, observing each other. Yeah, peer observation is observing others' classes, and getting, it is, let's say, a process of observing others' classes and getting insights from others so as to bring changes in one's instructional practices, in one's instructional practices is the meaning of peer observation. It is one of the strategies of professional development of English teacher. You will not be evaluating someone else in his or her class whether his teaching is wonderful or his teaching is worse. Instead, you observe to learn something relevant. You observe to find something striking. So, yeah, observation is peer observation. We must understand this. Peer observation is not is a part of evaluation, is not is a part of evaluation, finding out the right and wrong. Evaluation. Okay, evaluation, but peer observation is not a part of evaluation, but a part of learning. Okay, a part of learning or part of getting something relevant, getting some striking ideas, getting some ways or tips like this. That's why it can be said peer observation is a way of developing oneself. Okay, peer observation, one of the strategies of professional development. It is a way of developing oneself by getting insights from the observation of others' classes, from the observation of others' activity. It is the observation of a teacher by another teacher. Okay, especially the trainee, especially novices. Novices are trainee teachers. They observe each other's ideas. Okay, so the thing is, peer observation is a teacher or the observer who observes, who closely watch and monitors a lesson or the parts of lesson, right? Okay, let me discuss in a peer observation. One teacher in peer observation, especially in peer observation, a teacher closely inspects, closely inspects other teacher or other teachers classes or parts of lesson or parts of lesson in order to get some ideas, in order to get insights, to gain an understanding. Parts of lesson to gain an understanding of, for example, understanding of classroom interaction, understanding of classroom assessment, understanding of the teacher's presentation and explanation, like this. So it is to gain an understanding of classroom activities. The observer has to decide what aspects to observe. The most important thing is observer has to decide what aspect to be observed. For example, the way they motivate, observing the way they motivate, observing the way they interact, observing the strategies dealing with exercises, observing the small scale projects and tasks that seem quite useful in teaching English to the students, like this. So at first, the observer should decide the aspects to be observed. Okay. Then the observer should make teacher aware of what he or she is doing without taking any consent, without having negotiation. It's not better to enter into others' classes. So first, we should inform them the purpose of our observation. We should take the consent of the teacher, or there should be proper negotiation between the observer and observee, between the observer and observee. That's why the observer should make the teacher aware of what he or she is doing and should help him to move away from the ritual behaviors towards expected behavior, toward the towards the ideal behavior. That's why the observer, okay, there should be negotiation between observer and observee. Interviewer and interviewee भने जस्तो between observer and observee. The observer after the observation, observer should share after the observation. The observer should share the ideas about what was going on during the observation, what actually happened during the observation. Okay, what was going on during the observation, what actually held at that time. He or she has to provide feedback or the suggestions. So the purpose of observation is to provide feedback, or let's say to get feedback. Provide feedback, or you can say get feedback, receive feedback, right? Purpose is to provide feedback, get feedback, and another one is there should be the limitation to gather the information. The purpose is to gather information, okay, is to gather, collect information, gather information. Another one is likewise the purpose is to support, to adopt the new and useful strategies. Support teachers to adopt new strategies, effective strategies, new strategies, effective strategies, productive strategies. We can observe simply with the help of checklist. Okay, with the help of checklist. For observation, we can observe with the help of our diary. We can take the field note of the observation. Field note, we can have field note, we can use checklist, or even with consent, by taking permission, we can keep record of the observation. But permission should be taken at the beginning before you record, because the classroom discussion can be the matter of privacy too in some cases. That's why we need to take consent before we keep the record, or before we video or the audio the classroom discussion.